Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the work session for the Town Council of Urbana, Virginia, this Thursday, March 28th, 2024. Let's have roll call. Sandy Sturgill.
Here.
Mary Hanson.
Here.
Bill Goldsmith is here. Larry Tuning.
Here.
Beth Justice.
Here.
Marjorie Austin.
Here.
Having a quorum, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve this agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Ms. Sturgill seconds. Any discussion? No discussion.
Hi, sorry, I'm late. I couldn't get it.
It's okay.
Not bad.
Let the record show that Alana Courtney has joined the meeting.
God, it's so bright in here. I just had my eyes done.
No more cataracts.
All right.
You all look wonderful.
Did you take the vote on the,
Not yet.
okay.
Marjorie Austin.
Yes?
Beth Justice.
Yes.
Larry Tuning.
Yes.
I say yes. Alana Courtney, it's to approve the agenda.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Mary Hanson.
Yes.
Sandy Sturgill.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on. Public comment. Mr. Mayo.
My name is William Mayo. I live at 320 Rappahannock Avenue. I've had 3 incidents on Rappahannock Avenue and Virginia Street. Across the way, of course, they're selling wine, which is fine. But if a truck or cars are there, you cannot see. I come down in this morning going to the doctor, and the car missed me about 3 foot. I looked that way, the truck was there, 5 minute wall, and you couldn't see, you can't see down Virginia Street. And I looked the other way, when I pulled out, he blew the horn, scared the devil out of me. But it's the 3rd time it's happened,
And which intersection?
coming down Rappahannock, Virginia Street, coming this way.
Rappahannock.
And if you,
Yeah.
There's a delivery
and if
truck
you stop and look
that's
that way,
there.
you can't see.
Yeah,
And before, they had yellow lines almost to the middle way of the bank, where you couldn't park there. But the yellow lines are gone. I don't know if we can put some yellow lines back on that.
yeah, that's got me once.
It's bad.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that, but that's something to look into. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Billy.
All right. Mr. Mayo was the only public comment. All right. And we made our comment of looking into it. Action items. Mr. Costin, would you like to present the rezoning package, please?
Evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, gentlemen. Okay. So, as you know, the town took in some property through a boundary line adjustment last year. The zoning ordinance stipulates that when you do that, whether it's boundary line adjustment or annexation, that property comes in at R1 zoning district, which is the lowest intensity zoning district that you have. What is proposed is to try to match up existing uses, proposed uses, planned uses to those properties that the R1 just doesn't fit. So what we're going to be asking you for is the permission to go forward with a comprehensive rezoning of this property. I'll walk through the individual parcels in a moment. You have in the summary, you have the quick identification of what the R1 district is, what the R2 district is, and what the general commercial district is, as they are the ones that might be in play. As far as the fiscal impact, we would do the normal advertising, the normal adjacent notifications, the landowner notifications, the staff time. That would all be absorbed by the town. There'd be no offset from an application fee, because in this proposal, the town is the applicant. And we would recommend that you go forward with that. I will, before I step over the map and kind of walk through the plat and kind of walk through those, I will let you know that we've been in contact with all the landowners, and a lot of what I'm going to tell you in terms of what they're looking for is based on conversations that we've had with them. Okay? So I'm going to move over the map. Mr. Scott? Yeah, thank you very much. You read my mind. That way, Mom can keep up with me. All right, here we go. The Middlesex Volunteer Fire Department property that was not part of the boundary line adjustment is zoned B1. So the idea is to make everything that they own, oops, sorry about that.
Just leave it, it'll go away.
It will go away? All right. Make everything that they own that's depicted here. I don't want to exit full screen.
Don't touch it.
I'm being impatient. Oh,
There you
thank,
go.
okay, oh, I could have touched over there. Okay, so, the Middlesex, so what they have zoned now is B1. What has been taken into the town would be zone B1. So they have all their property under the same zoning so that there's no conflict of use and, well, no, you can't expand over here because you're in a different zoning district. Okay, so that's that one. The Thurston property here on the corner, that is a duplex already. It would be appropriate to put that into an R2. Because of the adjacency, R2 on this tract as well. Coming across the street, I don't think you all need an explanation. This is the town offices here. That would be proposed for B1. Now, the owners, excuse me, turn my back to you. The owners, Thurston Properties, are looking at doing a division across here and keeping this portion B1 and everything else behind it matching up to what they have over here, R2, including this piece that wraps up around over to Laurel Farms Lane, R2 as well. Everything else, the proposed well lot, Hampton Road sanitation, the water tower parcel that we have back in here, and this road, and yes, we own the road, it's a private right-of-way that the town owns, all of that would be B1. And all that B1 ties into your larger infrastructure pieces. I'd be happy to take any questions that you all, thank you, that you all have.
Is the dark area what you're saying we annexed?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, I don't recall us annexing, this portion right here.
Yes.
Yeah,
We did.
Yeah.
Does that go to Red Hill?
no,
No.
No, it doesn't, okay.
Red
that's
Hill
Snob Hill,
is-
No,
is
it's,
over here.
Oh, I see, I see.
Okay.
Garnet.
I got you.
Garnet Hill.
That's the vacant lot.
Right. And the original proposal that we put before the county, because there's some properties wanted to include those, but the county
Right, okay,
decided that they didn't want to support that.
right. I remember that part.
Okay.
And for the record, it was a non-annexation, it was a voluntary
Yes.
boundary line
Yes.
adjustment.
Yes. Right.
Russ, yeah.
Yep. And it's my impression that annexation requires an act of the State House, right?
I like to put it to you this way, boundary line adjustment is a friendly annexation. Annexation is a not so friendly, and it does involve the commission on local government and other entities, yep,
Okay.
and courts.
And-
So, but basically what the staff's asking for is to be able to, now that that property's in the town, bring it up and make it compatible to the town zoning.
And this vote for right now is just to move it
Just
ahead.
to move it
head
forward.
it towards the advertisement planning commission and then ultimately back to us to say whether we're going to do it or not do it.
Yes, sir. You
Okay.
would still have the public hearing with the planning, before the planning commission, that process, and then you all's public hearing in that process. And let me be, also let you know that what we're proposing, again, is in consultation with the property owners. once you advertise it at this level, you can come down, but you can't go up.
Okay.
I missed it. What did FL Hall want? R1?
R2.
Two.
Let me see, that would be the third one down on the list.
And
The-
R2 is no commercial, it's just housing.
It's housing. It's an array, single family, duplex, you can go townhouses, that type of thing.
Okay, any other questions?
No, but I'll make the motion to authorize the staff to proceed with the comprehensive rezoning as proposed.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, start at the other end. Sandy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
I say yes. Larry?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Marjorie Austin?
Yes.
All right. Moving on to the next one. All right. You should have just stayed up here.
I didn't want to be center stage all the time. Okay, so fireworks. A lot has happened with fireworks, and I'm just going to say a lot of folks have expressed concern, and not only done just an expression of concern, they've tried to solve the problem. We've had council members reaching out, talking to different people. We've had citizens coming in and kind of, what can we do? How can we do this? We've chased down a lot of ideas, and it all still boils down to insurance. I think I told you that the company that you all had used in previous years did reach out to us. They were apologetic about missing the phone calls, but they have really got to been involved with this work because they're the only ones that would consider doing a barge. Okay, so we've kind of let the first company go with appreciation. The company out of Halifax, we're back talking to American. The barge issue is going to be very difficult. Number one, a lot of barges are tied up with the Hampton Roads Bay Bridge Tunnel project. And after the accident in Baltimore with the Key Bridge, you're going to have a lot more barges tied up because that's kind of I can only imagine there are probably barges being moved out of Hampton off that project to go work the Key
absolutely.
Bridge, because they just need to get things moving back up there. We've beaten every angle that we can beat, and folks have gone back, talked with Rosegill owners, and the other company, the American company, had a much higher insurance coverage, and they've just said they will lose their day-to-day insurance coverage if they do any fireworks. And I think if we were all in their position, we wouldn't do it.
All right.
So,
So is that a change for them?
is that a change for them? I believe it is. I think they put their property in some different designations, and it becomes very, as they explained it to me, it's hard for them to find insurance because of the designations that the property has. And the company that they are writing with now has said, you do fireworks, we're out. So, we've priced out some bridges, barges. We've priced out some barges, and the barge prices are probably a time and a half over what's already in the budget just for the fireworks show. So you're talking $20-some thousand dollars.
It was, what, $25,000+ for a barge to set off $15,000 worth of fireworks.
Wow.
What is in the budget for the fireworks?
I think it's like $15,000.
15,000?
What size barge would we need?
40 by 60. And we've gone back to American and said, because we had one person offer, said, well, what if we got a bunch of smaller ones and hooked them together? And American came back and said, well, I need to see what that looks like. And when I went back to the person, they said, I don't think we're going to be able to get that many barges hooked up.
So basically, it looks like we're going to have no fireworks this year.
I would say it looks like we're not going to have any fireworks this year. And
When's a hard stop with the fireworks company? They have to know not later than. In other words, I'm wondering how much time we still have to see if we can figure anything out.
When I talked to Roberto, he said, sorry to interrupt.
No, no.
But he said that they'd like to send out their final prices when they know what their insurance is gonna charge
Oh,
them.
right.
And that he expects to have at the beginning of next week. And so that's when they try to really lock things down, because that's when they can establish prices and, give people their final strike point.
Well, if we've got April, May, and June, basically, we've got 3 months to come up with another plan, because we've got to have something. And if we've got 15,000 in the budget, can we put a committee together to come up with something else that we can do? But if we put it off, we won't be able to get something else together.
Yeah.
Like a military band that could play at the park or other things. And I think that we need to get a group together that can, Beth, I'm sure would help me, and we ought to get a group together to see what else we can come up with. And not wait, because 3 months is not a lot of
And,
time.
No, it
and
isn't.
having something in the park does make some sense, and it's that, we already have structures that are in place, like with the, with the pavilion and what you do with second Saturdays.
Right.
I mean, if,
We have the power needed there. Well, what about the boat parade? We always have the boat parade, and that's fun. I
And
think we
that
should
still can
do
happen.
that.
Still have that.
We
Yeah.
can do that and
You
make
can
it
still have
even
the- you can
better
still
if
have
we
the
could get a
boat
group
parade.
together to kind of
If we could-
coordinate
whether you
everything.
have, like,
We could get
bands
Judge
at the
Judy
park.
or something to
Yeah,
play
oh,
down at
that'd
the
be great.
waterfront.
Ted, if we
The
could get
judge
a
is
smaller,
15,000.
Can I ask?
a smaller barge, could we
Yeah. Yes.
put smaller fireworks off in the river? Because I know the big one was because for 5 inch in diameter and that, the bigger the diameter, the bigger area you need. So if we just had a smaller,
The, if you can find the barge, if you can find the barge at the price point you want, you could do probably a smaller show, maybe more 3 shells than you've ever done compared to the 4 and 5s that were done in the
Right.
past.
Wonder if the Shores could do something for us. Lance and Larry, they do
Have they been
all the
contacted?
piers and
The
stuff they build.
they could probably get us a barge.
I mean,
Shores and Rock, if anybody talked to them?
you don't think they could?
You better let the committee talk to them. That's what, I think you ought to form a committee, and then you all go after it.
Yeah.
But
Because,
if we do it through, it's gonna slow the process down if we do it through this office.
well, if we do want to get some
And
sort
bring
of
bring it back to them.
a good patriotic band to play at the park, we've got to start lining it up now. I mean,
Yeah, we do.
Right.
and so we have to say, we're not going to do the fireworks, and let's move
Just
forward.
decide.
And we've got 15,000 in the budget. Let's,
Do you have a recommendation of how to structure something like that?
I would say a couple of, council members, and I do think somebody from staff ought to be in play.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to kind of watch the numbers. And I did reach out to one company at suggestion of Councilmember Sturgill. They weren't going to be able to get back with me until tonight, and kind of busy right now. I made it as far as looking up at one of the military installations to hit their website to see if they had anything in like community outreach. But there are a lot of military installations around here, and I'll tell you, in Elkton, we used to do a concert series, and we had the Air Force Brass Band come in one Friday night in June. So if you get the right date, I mean, a lot of their bands might be already tied up for the 4th of July.
Right.
But if you go back, a day or two,
To the Friday or
one way or
Saturday
the other,
before.
yeah, you might be able to cut somebody loose.
well, how would we go about forming a committee to look into all of this?
You just appoint who you want to appoint.
Sandy, it sounds like you are willing to take the point on that. You
Yeah.
want to,
I don't mind taking the point on if I get some people to volunteer to help me.
I mean, I'm good with the
All right.
And
music stuff.
Beth
Right.
is obviously somebody that should help me.
Right.
okay, all right.
She would, and
So-
I know knows a lot of people too that she can reach out to. But I think get somebody from town. I'll do it.
Okay.
All right, I think you don't want to have it too big to start, so
No.
I would like a motion to form a committee for festivities for the 4th of July.
Again, ad hoc committee.
ad hoc committee, chaired by Ms. Sandy Sturgill, and also a member of Beth Justice. Could I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, moved in second. Any other discussion? Okay. Sandy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
I say yes. Larry?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Marjorie?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, then,
And
wait,
Cindy, I'll
What-
talk to you about when you're going to meet, because we have to announce it.
Okay.
Right, remember like
Yeah.
before.
hey, Ted, Wi-Fi.
What about,
Oh. Okay.
check with Brian Fletcher in Deltaville
I know him. Okay.
and,
About-
Vaughn Haywood for a barge.
All right. Moving on to the next one, which is the Wi-Fi policy.
In your package, you will find a Wi-Fi for the town of Urbana, which will cover the town hall, the museum, and the marina. And the reason that this has come to light, it is to protect the town from potential lawsuits. I was notified by BreezeLine that we had some copyright infringements that happened using our Wi-Fi. So what had happened is we immediately changed passwords. Franktronics asked us what our policy was, and we're like, we don't have one. So when you read through the Wi-Fi provided by the Town Hall of Urbana, it will cover what's acceptable as far as when we allow folks to connect to our Wi-Fi. I asked the questions if we get another warning. If we get too many of these warnings, they pull our internet and we cannot have internet.
So what happened? What was the infringement that was made?
They were downloading copyrighted movies and sharing them. And CBS, no,
No, it wasn't staff.
it was not staff.
Somebody just hopping off of the Wi-Fi.
Correct. So going forward, we will change our passwords more frequently, especially at the marina. And before we give that password out, they will also receive a copy once you all take a look at this and we come back to this at the next meeting.
And we'll vote on it in the next meeting?
Yes.
Does that have to be just a policy and we just vote on it, or does it have to be an ordinance?
Can we
Just-
just go ahead and vote on that now to keep this from spilling over and going further?
We need to make some tweaks to it. Just got it, yeah.
Would prefer that we keep this a work session and take
Yeah.
your action. Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a policy that we've gained from somebody who already has a good policy, or is this something that was created from whole cloth?
This, the roots of it all came from Franktronics.
Okay.
Then it was sent on to our attorney, and it was scrubbed down again and reworded in some areas to fit us
Okay.
as the town.
Okay. Any other questions?
No. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any announcements?
I don't have an announcement, but I do have a question. It seems a lot of stuff is happening at the museum, and we have not received, Barbara Hartley, when she served as mayor, made the Friends of Urbana like a group, an advisory committee to try to get grants and things like that. And since that it was done, no one from the museum has come and said anything to any of us, talked to us about the museum at all. And I happened to go in there the other day, and there's a huge changes being made in there that I don't think anybody was aware of. I don't know who of you go into the museum, but there's a lot of changes being made. So I think we need to ask Aubrey or Penny or someone to come in and advise us as to what's going on, because we still are liable for the property. It's our property, and we do insure it. So at least know what's going on to the property, because it is an important piece of history for us, with the only Scottish factory store still left in the United States.
Yep.
And I know that they're working to get funding to, put it back to a more original state. Did any of the staff have anything to add to?
This has kind of blossomed up. We had a finance committee meeting this week, and right after that, I did receive something from them on some proposals after the finance committee had met, and again, it was just this week. And also, there was I think it was unintended, we got looped in on estimate for some brochure work, and I said, wait a minute, we kind of need to re-engage on this before you all go and buy some. So I've met with a couple of the representatives, got kind of a handle on that in terms of what they're wanting to do. I'm packaging it together, but the idea of having them come in is probably not a bad idea. So
Yeah, because they've already put a
speak for
pretty big
themselves.
counter in there that's pretty heavyweight, and I don't know if that floor is supported sufficiently with that open basement, like, the open underneath is open, so.
I knew that they took one. They advised me when we were talking that they took this one. And this has all happened
The
this
glass
week.
cabinet
That they
out.
took that one out, and that's in the basement. They're looking for restoration work on that. But that's a good point. I mean,
Yeah, but they have put that counter in, I guess,
Yeah.
to look like a
It was
possible store
supposedly
counter,
it was.
but
It's the
it's
counter's
pretty-
going where it used to be.
yeah, it's pretty heavily made. So I just want to make sure there's no structure damage or anything like that.
More is being done right now than has been done in a long, long time.
Absolutely.
And so we don't want to intimidate the volunteers. And town council has a tendency to do that from time to time, and we lose volunteers. So please handle it with care.
I will.
Well,
certainly will.
I met with Sandra Rudy and Dr. Robusto this past week. They're setting up a fundraiser because they're going to be redoing the front porch. And so I helped them with the music part. And they're planning on doing they haven't talked to Patty yet, but, and Baptist Church, Aubrey. But they're planning on doing a Sunday jazz concert. No date yet, but
July 7th.
is it July 7th? Okay, so I kind of helped them,
Well, that's
you know,
good
with
to
the
know because that's the
logistics.
date we want to avoid anything.
Yeah, I
from-
believe it was July 7th.
Okay.
It is
But
July
I'm just,
7th,
I
you're
believe
right.
so. I'm just saying, not to intimidate anybody, Larry, just to have them come in here and let us know what's taking place, what's going on, where they're at, because we just know nothing.
I think we can approach it from, we're excited that something's
Oh,
going on. And
absolutely.
we would love to know what they're doing and what their plans are.
Yeah,
Just,
absolutely.
Yeah, approach it from-
informative.
It's all how you approach it.
It is.
Yeah.
And if they're talked about that in July, is that going to be right around the same time we're talking about doing something? Could we?
Well, we
I-
might have
I-
to do it earlier. you know.
I'm not, the last date
What
I
date
heard
it-
was July 7th when I met with Sandra Rudy.
Well, we thought July 7th would be best because a lot of people be down at the campgrounds for the 4th of July. And a lot of people have off that following day.
It's a good fundraising weekend.
So,
Exactly.
And they were going to do 3 bands, but I told them really 2 would be logistically better because, and hire a sound company to come in, which I volunteered Rod. If Rod's not doing something else, so we could help them with the money part.
You know, on that note, we're tied in with museums and, what is it? The
Museums of Middlesex.
Museums of Middlesex, which we get grant money from. And we've never had a report from them.
No, we haven't.
And
They
we
have a
get-
fundraiser coming up too.
We get about 5,000 a year, I think, from it, which
Wow.
I don't want to get,
Yeah, I don't think we got that last year from them.
no, yes, we did.
No, yes, we did.
Yes. No. No, you're wrong.
And then I do have one more question that is not about the museum or anything, but Sandy, you finished all of your fundraising and stuff for the pool and all the all the money has come in and all the promises were kept for,
Yeah,
for
oh, yeah,
that?
everybody, we've got, more coming in last week, a little bit more. But
Nice.
all of it has closed, it was right at $200,000 so
Nice.
far
Okay.
that came in.
Nobody had asked about it recently, so that's why
Yep.
I thought I would.
Yeah,
you.
everybody that promised paid up.
Good, good.
I attended of course, I always attend the supervisor meeting, and a very interesting thing came up when they had a work session with the sheriff in the county. And it involved public safety and the problems they're having at Bethpage. As I'll quote the sheriff, says redneck fights that are going on over there. But one of the things that came up, and I didn't understand that the town had done this, was that when we gave up the coexistence with the county, when we were paying $50-some thousand to have, the county cops to come in, then according to the sheriff, we can no longer help the county if we wanted to hire somebody unless we go before the General Assembly.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. When did that happen?
We always, public safety wise, we hired a cop, a town
Right.
cop for
Right.
years and years. And then at some point, we decided we couldn't afford it anymore. So
Right.
we entered an agreement with the county in which we paid so much a year, which I think it was like 50,000, to have them provide our police protection. Then council decided, why should we do this when taxpayers are paying for it anyway?
Right.
That's right.
So, but the issue is that it may come back that we need that with what's going on with the campground, what's going on with rentals in the county, in the town. We may one day want to do that, and I would like to know whether we have that ability to do that anymore. And if not, I'd like to know the avenue in which we could do it. We're looking 10, 20 years down the road, but the sheriff said that they added 250 sites last year down here.
Yes.
Yes.
And he just said simply, if two people in those sites every weekend, it's almost as large as the population of the town of Urbanna.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bethpage
Yeah,
should
there's-
hire their
there-
own.
there's no
They
question
should,
about it.
they should. They should
Yeah.
hire their
That's
own
what, that's
security.
what, but what's happening is not that. They're gonna hire 2 more deputies at taxpayer expense. And, they're having trouble working with Chicago,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I have seen an increased police presence in the evenings
I have too.
go through town, and, and they're a lot of everywhere, not just like down Virginia Street or up Cross Street. They're back in the neighborhood, so I have seen that.
The sheriff also said, even with the increased problems with Bethpage and the one down there, and they're getting ready to build
Grace
another one
Point,
up
yeah.
here, there's still more problems from Locust Hill to Deltaville than they are from Locust Hill to Jamaica, which includes us, which I found
That's
very
So why do we
Interesting.
have to pay extra and
That
they
is
don't?
interesting.
I mean,
Yeah. That's the question I have is we're paying county taxes.
Just like the rest of
right.
them.
And we're paying the same amount, the same tax rate as people in Deltaville or
Right.
Harmony
Right.
Grove or anywhere else. I don't know why we wouldn't get the same.
Well, the argument is, okay.
We have
put
our
it
own
that way.
tax base. We've heard that.
64, well, no, if you just take away our tax base, 64 cents, everybody goes, is Pine Top tax base is 64 cents at every tax dollar that's collected out here at Saluda. 36 cents comes from Hartfield all the way to Jamaica. So their argument always is, well, we ought to get more services than what you get in Urbanna or anywhere else because we pay more taxes. You know. But my point is that one day we may need to hire our own protection.
So Larry, are you wanting to know what our path forward would be if we had to do that? Is that what you're wondering?
I want to, I want to
Okay.
know what happened. And the sheriff may be totally wrong, that we have to go through the General Assembly and get something done to get the right to have public safety back.
Well, I know when I first moved here, we had a little Urbana police car
Yeah.
that rode around, and that person ended up,
Well, we used to have two policemen, remember? Dan, the night cop and the day cop.
We had town police,
Yeah.
and then for a while, we had a tin man who was a town policeman.
And then Lewis Filling used to drive
You
around in
think
a
I'm
police
kidding,
car.
but they.
yeah, he scared the
they-
hell out of
they-
me. I thought it was fake.
But anyway, and I'd like to know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
But I don't think we should have to pay extra.
well, we
We're
said,
not paying extra.
But I mean, we used to,
because we had our own, yes.
yeah.
Well,
Bill,
we
why
used
don't you
to
just
at-
be the police
right.
officer?
I didn't disagree when they
Or
got,
Billy, we could make Billy Mayo,
Yeah, I think so.
you know, I
Deputy.
don't think it's anything
One
to
at a
joke
time.
about. I honestly think that, I mean, the campground, according to Bushy, hired young people to try to maintain it.
Oh,
And
okay.
they got the living hell beat out of them. So, I mean, this is not a joke.
I need to screen their members more.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
They need to take care of their problems.
Yeah, they
there.
do.
Right.
They do. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I know
Well,
that,
is Bushy or somebody talked to the campground people?
Lord, according to him, you know, when Walt was there, they could deal with Walt.
Yeah.
But everything's in
This
Chicago.
is Equity
Yeah.
Lifestyles
Yeah.
is the name of the
Yeah,
company.
corporation, so they're not even anybody
Yeah,
there.
I think they're constantly trying to talk to them.
all right, well,
Oh, it's scary.
that is concerning that they've got an increased violence in their presence at the campground. One other thing, going back to fireworks, I was sitting at the MPPDC meeting last night next to Matt Walker, Reggie Williams, and Wayne Jesse, and I asked if they would be willing to chip in $25,000 to help us get a barge for fireworks because it benefits the whole county.
Yeah.
And all I got was smiles. So I just wanted you to know that that's out there. All right.
Well, if I'd have known that, I would have hit Matt up
Yeah,
yesterday.
Exactly.
Can I say one other thing about that pool? I think it's really important that everybody on council gives money. I don't care if it's $10 or $25, but I think it's really important for everybody on council to support
I would like
what
everybody's
Sandy's
name on the
doing.
plaque.
As I say, $10, just so we can say everybody on this council has helped. And that's the
Yep.
end of what I have to say.
Well, I gave my $10.
I thought we had.
And then some.
All right. Moving on. It's time for us to go into a closed
Closed
meeting. Somebody want to read this motion?
Closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code 2.2-3711A29 for discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders or offerers, as discussion of the term or the scope of such contract, where discussion is an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body, trash contract, and pool management contract.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right. Sandy Sturgill.
Yes.
Mary Hanson.
Yes.
Alana Courtney.
Yes.
I say yes. Larry Tuning.
Yes.
Beth Justice.
Yes.
Marjorie Austin.
Yes.
All right.